Good morning, everyone. My name is Cindy Xu from University of Michigan. Thank you for coming to my talk today entitled Write Without Losing Your Sanity. So we all know writing is a very important skill. It's related to our promotion, getting our ideas across. I want to share with you some of my strategies. So I actually want to focus my talk today on what happens when this happens, which is the dreaded writer's block. So it happens to everyone. It happens to me multiple times while I was preparing for this talk. In fact, up to this morning. And it's a terrible feeling. I think we've all been there. This is when you hit this terrible wall, and every time when this happens, it seems like there's scribbles on the wall, they're in foreign languages. You have no idea how to even start climbing over this wall. So what I want to do actually is to demystify the writing process altogether, okay? So as author Malcolm Gladwell puts it, you want to lower your expectations. If you sit down and expect something magical and magnificent to happen every time you write, you're going to be very disappointed. So there's really not a secret sauce or potion that is related to being a great writer. In fact, I want to argue that you want to be writing as any competitive sport or performance art, okay? Athletes and musicians, performers, they spend hours, days, months, and years perfecting the critical steps of their art to achieve greatness, okay? And that's exactly what writing is. I'm going to offer you some strategies on how to optimize your writing conditions, environments, and some tools associated with it. Share with you some favorite books on writing, and then to how to refine your drafts to achieve a great product at the end. So this is Nora Roberts, who's a very prolific novelist. She said she doesn't believe in writer's block. In fact, she said, I believe in sitting your ass down in the chair, okay? This lady writes a book every 45 days, so I think we should listen to her. So when you put your butt down in the chair, what do you do to generate that first draft? You want to keep your pen moving. You don't want to stop for anything. You want to go quickly without editing and rushing, and you don't want to stop to correct, okay? This is how you generate your first initial drafts. I personally like to use an app called Focus Keeper. It's a Pomodoro 20-minute on, 5-minute off timer to really focus your attention and flow. I also use my voice transcription mode with my phone with Evernote to generate the initial drafts while I'm away from computer. We focus a lot on time management, but I want to actually stress attention management. This is by Daniel Pink in his book, When. So if you're a morning person, you want to do actually analytical work in the morning and your creative work in the evening and flip it around if you're a night owl. So this is very important. You want to block off your writing time. This is an example from my Google Calendar when I was in ICU a couple weeks ago. I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning to get my 2 hours writing in before I go around in the ICU. This is so important, okay? You then want to edit ferociously, okay? And that means you want to omit any needless words. And actually, Stephen King said his strategy is to make sure you edit at least 10% of your subsequent drafts. And this is an example from one of my manuscripts recently. A little bit about music and the role of ambient noise for writing. So this is Michael Phelps. We all know him very well. He's a famed swimmer. He listens to music right up until the last moment of his race. He likes Eminem and EDM, okay? And that's just his routine. This is my personal Spotify playlist. The type of music that I listen to correlates with the type of writing I'm doing. So I tend to listen to classical and opera when I'm very focused deeply, and something with lyrics like Eminem when I'm doing creative work. Okay, or doing slideshows. This is my home office setup. And I recommend optimizing your monitors, your writing real estate. So I have 3 monitors at home. I've got speakers. I've got a noise-canceling headsets. This is where I write the best. Shift gears a little bit. What happens when your creativity is stuck? So organizational psychologist Adam Grant said, this is your creative process. You go from feeling awesome to crappy to awesome to crappy over and over again. It is not linear, and it is repetitive. Creative people, he said, also produce a lot of quantity. So Mozart's wrote over 600 pieces, and Edison had over 1,000 patents, out of which they generated a handful of really great work. So you gotta just be not afraid to produce crap, okay? So musician Duke Ellington said, I don't need time, I need a deadline. And that is so true. So how do we use our deadline to actually generate the best work possible? So there's an effect called the Zeigarnik effect in psychology, which is your mind tends to mull over unfinished tasks. In fact, Martin Luther King procrastinated until the very last moment for his famous speech, I Have a Dream. So you want to start your initial work early, take a break, come back to it. I came back to it right up to this morning for this talk, and then that's when you get your best work. I want to leave you with this quote from one of my favorite autobiography by Stephen King on writing. And he said, "It is possible with lots of hard work, dedication, timely help to make a good writer out of a merely competent one." I have faith in you. You have the dedication and the tools necessary to become a good writer. The feeling on the top is exhilarating. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I thought your talk was excellent. What I particularly liked about it is that you offered a lot of concrete solutions to something that is the bane of pretty much every academic emergency physician's existence. It does seem like you have a great deal of discipline, and I think some of us in emergency medicine have attention spans that are a little less disciplined than yours. But excellent talk.